What's shaking, wrestling fans? It's Labor Day, September 1st, and we just finished watching this evening's edition of Raw, and we are back on MegaPowersRadio.com with our Monday night tradition, the Raw post-show. And most importantly, I'm back. I missed you guys last week. I had a little bit of crazy times at a new job I'm at. They required me to stay. Conflict in schedule, you guys understand. The rest of the team did an excellent job covering for me, though. I saw it was a very fun show for everyone involved. Thank you all for tuning in then and continuing to tune in this week. We love having you guys involved here on the most interactive post-Raw experience. I saw Raw was advertising some Nitro bullcrap. You don't want to watch some stupid WCW crap from 1994 or whatever the hell it was. You want to hang out with us here, MegaPowersRadio.com. Let's start getting the show rolling. I already introduced myself, Mike Paden. With me tonight is the man in charge of Unanimous Decision MMA and also the host of Addicted to Anime here on Mega Powers Radio. What is up, Stephen Wago?
I am good, and it's glad to be back on a podcast with you on it.
Oh, well, I know I was very well missed from a lot of people. Tony Mango is with us as well, the president of SparkOutMoment.com, Fanboys Anonymous, and a host of Smack Talk. What is up, Tony?
Not too much. Eventually, I'm going to add America to that presidency list. Just wait.
You can't do any worse than our current administration. Oh, did I say it in the air? Oh, crap. Well, let's continue things going down here. First things I always like to ask you guys, what is the number one thing you took away from the show? And my goodness, good luck, because I really don't know if there was much. But let's see what you guys got to say. Tony, what's the number one thing you took from the show?
It's so hard to be Nikki Bella.
Oh.
That's what I took away. Divas division, taking over the world.
Growing up Bella. It's a thing. Wago, what is the number one thing you took away from the show?
Apparently, Brie Bella's a fucking bitch. Damn. Seriously, those segments were fucking awful. That pretty much sums up this entire show. It was a big pile of shit.
Absolutely. Well, we want to know what the number one thing you took away from the show, the listeners. We got the chat room opened up, and also the phone lines will be opening around 11:30, so get yourselves in line. Dial in area code 760-512-7247, or you could also join in via Skype if you press the little Skype icon at the top of the page. So since there's really no huge news to run down as far as the show, let's just do it chronologically. With our opening segment first, we had an edition of the highlight reel. I don't know if I think we had one of those since Jericho's came back. I think I was with The Miz. But his guest this week was Randy Orton, but Randy Orton did not come out alone. He brought the entire authority with him, including Seth Rollins and Corporate Kane. It's important to note it was Corporate Kane because he was in a suit. It's a big difference from Demon Kane. Well,
and Malibu Kane.
I gotta
early
say,
going.
And early. I gotta say, I really dug this whole group coming out in suits, standing next to each other. They looked like a really impressive faction, and that's the first time I really felt like the Authority was a faction and not just Triple H and Stephanie. What'd you guys think about that?
They look like a bunch of stand-up lads.
I found it funny that they looked like more of a faction than Evolution did in the suits, that they all dressed the same for once.
Let's bring on another member of our cast here, Mr. Drew White. Mr. Drew White, is that you with us? Drew?
Hello?
Oh, this is not Drew. Calling from...
I'm just a caller.
Oh, I'm sorry. I confused you for... Well, since we got you on, let's just keep you on. What's your name, caller?
I'm Aisha, calling from New Jersey.
Hi, Isha. How you doing? What did you think about Raw tonight?
Raw was terrible.
That's a very good opinion. Now, why do you think it was terrible?
Well, of course, the Nikki Bella segment were awful. The main event, we've seen it like 100 times, and we already knew who was going to win. Let's see what else. I get Paul Heyman, great as usual. The opening segment, it was okay. Mark Henry and Big Show, and Erick Rowan, the Wyatts, same as usual. Yeah, so happy tonight.
Yeah, there's really nothing special coming out of it, which I think is my biggest problem. There's nothing particularly terrible besides the whole Bella stuff, but there's just nothing to get me excited. And in particular, there's nothing to get me excited for the upcoming pay-per-view, Night of Champions, which is supposed to be the whole point of these shows anyway. Just kind of a waste of 3 hours, and it just feels like I wasted a Monday night. It's at least there was no like financial investment into it, but still, I could have been watching South Park, or is that Simpsons marathon still going? I could have been watching that rather than this.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna watch Monday Night Football next week, to be honest.
Oh, what team are you rooting for? What team are you rooting for?
What was it? The Rangers? What's it called?
The Rangers?
I don't know. People keep mentioning about Monday Night Football, so I might as well watch because I'm not really a football fan, but I might as well watch the thing.
I think the Rangers is a soccer team.
Like people are saying on Twitter, like,
did I just say soccer?
Sam?
I meant hockey. What am I? No, I'm fucking up too. Oh my goodness!
You're talking about American football or whatever. We bringing this into the Michael Sam dude? Is this what this all ties into?
I guess that does tie into it because that was the big thing they're advertising for next week. So I guess it's not really a question I could ask you, but I guess you're calling this as a wrestling fan, but now they're advertising this big thing with this football guy coming on. Does that excite you at all? Was that going to make you want to tune in next week? Which obviously not, since you're talking about actually watching Monday Night Football.
I guess not really, but I found it like weird. Like, why would they advertise football? It's like a wrestling show. You should be advertising wrestling instead of football. But it's whatever. I really don't know about Michael Sam, but let's hope what he's gonna bring to Monday Night Raw. And he said he's invited, so I find it kind of weird how he didn't. You're gonna invite him, and you're not sure if he's not gonna come at all. But
I hope he doesn't show up.
Did they do this once before with somebody where they advertised that they invited him to show up on next week's show, and then they just never came?
Yeah.
I swear they did this before.
Yes, it was. I don't remember the individual exactly, but he bashed WWE, and Zeb Coulter and Jack Swagger could have shoot promo on and invited him to Raw to air his opinions. Needless to say, he didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Aisha, let me ask you: are you anticipating this John Cena Brock Lesnar rematch? Are you happy to see these two facing each other again, or would you rather see this go in a different direction?
Well, let me put it this way: I'm happy that Brock Lesnar is going to beat John Cena's ass again, so I'm happy about that. But yeah, I guess the match should be good. I think. With the things that's been happening with John Cena this past week, I don't want to say it, but I don't want to say he's going to win because they've been building him up very strong, but I don't think it's going to be as one-sided much than it was back at SummerSlam. But overall, I hope it's a beatdown, but I don't think it's going to happen. But with these two, they should pull off a good match if they can or whatever. But overall, I guess I'm ready to see the match.
Is there anything that's really lighting your world on fire that's going on right now? Is there anything that's keeping you super excited? I mean, you said yourself you're thinking of watching Monday Night Football next week. Is there anything, though, that you really feel like you would miss? Is there a single story going on right now that would have you hooked?
No. Well, I really want Ambrose to come back because when he left, I think in my opinion, when Ambrose left, I just think the show just went down. Just in my opinion, but there's not really anything that's exciting me that much. Like really,
I can feel you. Dean Ambrose is sorely missed, and it's only been what, a week, 2 weeks?
I know. Like I don't know how they're gonna keep this up. Like. When Ambrose left, really, my interest level, went, down. Because starting from last week with that Raw, it was so terrible. And this week, they just, I don't know, man.
Well, Aisha, we got a couple other callers going to get in the queue, but before we let you go, I want to ask you the final question we always ask our callers here on the show, and that is what your high point was and your low point was of tonight's show. So basically what your favorite part was and what your least favorite part of tonight's show was.
Okay, my high point, I guess, was the opening segment. Yeah, it was okay. And my low point was the whole Divas division of tonight.
Oh, that was insulting. And yeah, I'm sure it's no secret. You're not we're not common for getting many female callers on here. So from your point of view, how do you feel seeing a segment like that?
It was terrible. The Bella's acting. Paige, AJ, still the same. Stephanie looks like she tried to save the statement, but she really can't. But all I do say, but when Stephanie and AJ were looking at you, I was like, we gotta have that match. But it's gonna take some time. But overall, the segment was just not okay. And I will say this, but like it's at least the WWE is giving the Divas division like a good amount of spotlight, so at least that's good. But overall, the performance not that good.
If you could choose one of the divas, any of them on the roster now, even any of them out of NXT, that would be the optimal role model and leader of the divas, who do you think that should be?
I want to say Naomi, but I think I would see Charlotte to be the leader, role model of the division. Because she is Ric Flair's daughter. So
she's certainly got the lineage. Is she impressing you as well with her performance, though? She's the champion down there, and I think she's doing some pretty cool things.
Oh, yeah, especially with that match with her and Natty. Like, this blew me away. Like after that match, I really took her seriously. I'm just like, that, like, and she's inexperienced as a wrestler. I'm just like, seeing that match, I'm like, whoa, like, this girl can go, and she hasn't been in the company for like that long. And a person like Eva Marie's been in the company, and she can't even wrestle, but Charlotte, she's inexperienced, and she can wrestle like that. Like, amazing.
All right, Aisha, this has been oh, go ahead, please, go ahead, finish up.
Yeah, also, and Bayley, Sasha Banks, all those people, and especially Becky Lynch, I can see. And Becky Lynch, isn't she an independent wrestler before?
Oh, she was very, very popular in the independent scene.
Yeah, so I can see her as well. She's making
the
her
days
appearance.
will hopefully be better, and hopefully it will not contain as much Bella versus Bella.
I hope not. Oh my God.
All right, Aisha, this has been a very fun call, but we got to move on to some other ones. So thank you for calling in. Hopefully we'll hear you again sometime.
All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Have a good night. All right, now I'm going to get this right. I'm actually going to get Drew White on here. Drew White, you there with us?
Yeah.
All right, that was Drew White. Thanks for calling. Drew White, how you doing, buddy?
Shoot, hang on a second. Can you still hear me fine?
Yeah.
Yep.
Am I quieter at all?
No, you sound good.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm doing good. Raw doesn't help, but I'm still doing well.
Did you bring any stale animal crackers this time?
Actually, I have a half-eaten breadstick for my dinner that I'm gonna nom on as the days wear on.
I love college Drew. I love hearing about his suffering.
The struggle.
Hashtag struggle.
Do you think Drew's gonna put on the freshman 15 and then maybe he'll actually not look as scrawny?
I don't know.
It'll be the opposite. He'll put on the freshman 50 and we'll be like, Drew, what the fuck?
No. You know how like when people do like those exercise challenges, they'll take a shirtless picture of themselves in the mirror. I'm gonna do that, but hopefully I gain weight over a period of 9 weeks, and then you just see this big belly, like I just had a 6-pack of beer.
All right, so
beer gut.
we got the chat room talking about this, the fappening. And, I think we're going to have another one of those shows where we're going to bounce in and out of actually talking about Raw. This is a pretty big event that went down today. Apparently there was some problems in Apple's iCloud service, and a ton of people's photo accounts were hacked, including a number of celebrities whose photos leaked. And I'm not just talking about photos of like their garden or their dog. I'm talking about some very personal and risque photos. I know Jennifer Lawrence was one of them that was exposed. A number of other ones. I really haven't had the time to inspect it too much just yet.
There's like 3 porn videos floating around of Kate Upton.
Awesome.
It's a great picture of Kate Upton, and I'm not even a big fan of her, but she's the winner of this so far.
Nice.
Nice.
Nice. Jazz. So there's your explanation, folks. That's the more historic thing that went down today than Raw. So, Drew, has this been passing around your college? Like, has everyone been talking about this on campus?
I didn't get back till like 6:30. No, I didn't get back till 8 o'clock. So I came right up to my room and turned on Raw. But my roommate came up eventually, and he's like, "Hey, Drew, did you hear about what happened?" I'm like, "No." And then he explained it, and I was like, "Oh, apparently that is true," because I saw it on Twitter, but I thought it was just like one of those like fake accounts trying to get like hits on like a website or something. So I didn't really believe it at first, but apparently this shit is real. It is #TrueWhite verified, as one might say.
The silent wind of doom in the chat room saying, "That sounds awesome. Can we just make this a fappening podcast?" Silent wind of doom. Think you're new. Thanks for tuning in.
Well, Smack Talk is turning into Porn Update Weekly, so I don't know. You can do this if you want to.
Drew, I want to ask you, are you at the level yet with your college roommates where you're talking about your favorite porn stars with each other?
Dude, they're never in the room. Like, neither of them are in the room right now. They were both gone all weekend. Really, the only time I spend in my room with my roommates is when we're all sleeping. So, shit. I don't know. If one of them shows up, I'm like, "So, Ford, who you like?"
Oh,
and I know if Sean was here, he'd be like, "Really kinda."
The trick is to talk about it before that moment where you get caught watching it when they walk in the room, because then it's a lot harder to talk about it.
No, yeah, you just have a stiffy like, "So, how about that Lily Connor?"
Well, I'm not saying talk about it right after you get caught. Not like they just walk in, "Oh, you were jerking off, huh?
No,
So, who's your favorite porn stars?"
Like,
whoa,
midway through the
okay,
act, you get caught and he's talking about it. He's still got his pants down around his ankles.
Oh, yeah, let's keep talking about it. Oh, that one. Oh, yeah, she's great. I'm going to pull up one of her right now, actually.
Come on, guys. Get up there. Come on, guys.
I haven't seen the pictures either, so I'm gonna look at the fappening. I didn't realize. I looked it up on Google, and it's an actual thing on Reddit now. So definitely gonna be on the fappening for a while.
Silent Wind of Doom.
So much better than the post-Raw show.
Silent Wind of Doom actually asking who Lily Carta is. You confused her.
Well, it's Mr. Carter's wife, obviously. Duh.
It's Mr. Carter's.
It's got it.
All right. Well, since it's 11,
huh?
yeah, since it's 11:30, let's open up these phone lines to another caller, even though we opened up early anyway. It's just a wacky time tonight. We're doing it live here on the Raw Post Show on MegaPowersRadio.com. Just to remind everyone once again, number to call in if you'd like is area code 760-512-7247, or you can also join us via Skype by hitting the Skype icon at the top of the page. Or if you're shy, we also have the chat room open as well. I still see a few guests there. Register yourself with Blog Talk Radio. Scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see a chat room there where you can join Creepers on the Radars, Ferris419, our very own team is all in there. I'm not going to name them all by name. And the Silent Wind of Doom, which he died in the womb. The Silent Wind of Doom. All right, let's get this next caller, and it's our usual first caller, Mr. JD from Pittsburgh. Mr. JD, what's shaking, dude?
What's going on, Michael? Good to have you back. Good to have you on, and happy Labor Day to all of you guys. How you been tonight?
Oh, thanks so much, man. Happy Labor Day to you as well. It was a beautiful day outside all day, and I actually had it off. It was fantastic. I got to enjoy it, and I hope everyone out did there as well, and especially you, JD. How was your Labor Day?
It wasn't too bad. We just did some yard work around the place, Howard, and did some. I just went out for a little bit to lunch and everything. So it was kind of a lay-low day, and then I, of course, got ready for Raw tonight. Let's get into it. I mean, this Raw, as you guys said already, and you guys have talked about for the last 20 minutes or so, was a piece of shit show tonight, and they've got to be once again totally fucking embarrassed with the ratings. I mean, next week is going to be even worse, however, with the Monday Night Football, and of course our new form, which we'll get into in just a little bit. But no, this was an absolute train wreck of a show tonight in Iowa. I mean, it's an absolute cluster. I mean, you announced, however, early in the evening, Michael Sam's coming to your show next Monday night, however, in Baltimore, however, and you're going up against Monday Night Football. You better hope you don't embarrass not only your fans, however, but the NFL and just everyone in general, because if you do, you're going to have a big egg stain on your face, Vince, in more ways than one if you find out that you decide to embarrass him and just everyone else in general by doing something like this in Baltimore. I mean, the last time, if you remember, you were in Baltimore, however, you did something pretty good, and you brought Jake the Snake Roberts back, however, for that appearance, however. And speaking of Jake the Snake, we've heard all weekend about his health. Hopefully he'll be getting better very soon, and our prayers are with him, certainly. Then, of course, you have the stupid highlight reel to start the show, and, of course, who comes out? Triple H's goons, of course, led by Triple H, however, and his butt-kissing boys, if you will, needless to say. And, of course, it was just absolutely hokey in every sense of the word. The Bella thing, I definitely have to agree with you, and, of course, our first early caller of the night, and I've been saying this for weeks on end. I mean, this whole Nikki Brie Bella thing is an absolute piece of shit. It's almost as bad as freaking Rusev and Lana tonight saying, "You suck." Well, guess what? You suck, you freaking commie bastard. Go back to Moscow. We don't want to see you anymore. And while you're at it, why don't you take Bo Dallas and Adam Rose with you? You suck even worse. I mean, Bo Dallas tonight, really? Doing that whole stupid thing, however, putting his hand over his heart and mocking Jack Swagger? Yeah, that's going to get a big rating pop. Whoopie freaking do. I mean, there was not one match tonight except maybe the main event that was really good. I mean, yeah, okay, yeah, Sheamus and Ziggler was a good opener, but then who comes out? Freaking Mrs. Little Boy Sandow, who's playing now apparently the A-Rye role. And what happens? Oh, Miz and Star get a cheap fluke victory. But like I said, then you have the Divas thing. I mean, they're going to be that was a waste of time. And of course, they're going to get creamed on Sunday night with the season premiere bringing Total Divas back, which I don't know why they're bringing that back, however. I mean, they figure, oh, it's going to be good ratings. No, not when Sunday Night Football's starting and you have two good teams playing on Sunday night, like Indy and Denver. I mean, they're going to get absolutely murdered in the ratings. And like I said, next Monday night, they're going to get even more murder in the ratings. And I'll tell you what, like I said, they better think twice, however, about this whole Michael Sam thing. Because if they end up with this as a big embarrassment thing, however, Vince better write a big apology. And I mean a huge apology to the Sam family for downplaying this. Because, I mean, they're expecting a pretty good show in Raw next Monday in Baltimore with the whole Roman Reigns, Orton thing, and Jericho and Bray Wyatt. But like I said, they better hope for a good reign with 2 weeks to go till Night of the Champions. And speaking of which, however, I mean, obviously Brock Lesnar wasn't there again tonight, however, and I said this a few weeks ago, and I even told the guys this last week while you were away, Mike. I mean, I think it's time that Brock ought to start taking. I mean, I know he occasionally misses an occasional TV show here and there because he's the champ and all. But like I said, if you're going to be a champion for the next 6 months until WrestleMania, however, you better start appearing on TV more often than not, however, and not skipping out every week on these things. I mean, if you want to represent the company as a champion, prove it and just start making your TV appearances. Okay? Plain and simple.
Yeah, I could take Brock Lesnar away once in a while, but I hope if this is going to be a continued reign, that it's not going to be a super regular thing. I mean, at least do like a satellite interview. At least take the Rock route.
Exactly. Right, exactly. I mean, you had Paul Heyman come out and speak for you tonight. Maybe next week he can come out. I mean, obviously, maybe they'll bring him back. Maybe they'll bring him next week, but obviously they probably won't. They'll probably say, coming up next week, or the week before Night of the Champions for the go-home show in Lafayette, Louisiana in 2 weeks, Brock Lesnar confronts John Cena. Yeah, that's a great message, WWE. He's been off TV for almost less than a month, however, because he decided to go home and play with his wife and kids. I think that's understandable, and I'm all for that. But you know what, however, like at the same time, you haven't said much except for very little, however, except having Paul Heyman represent you. But like I said, next week, don't forget, guys, we got that first big segment coming up, however. I mean, we found out. Well, Tony asked. I think one of you guys asked me the question last week what my real name is, and they found out what it was. But starting next Monday, we got that new segment. However, starting up. However, ask JD anything. However, and I'm looking forward to it next Monday night.
Actually, we had someone in the chat room who already asked the question if you'd be willing to take it.
What was it? Go ahead.
I was Creepers Under Radar actually wanted me to ask you what your thoughts are about the fappening.
About who? Stephanie?
No, the fappening.
No, the fappening.
What is it again? I couldn't hear you.
The fappening. It's this thing that happened today where all these celebrities' photos from their iPods and iPads got leaked out.
Oh, that's new. Well, that's the first time I heard something about that. That's kind of news to me. That's kind of scary. I mean, that's very, very scary. I mean, hopefully nothing really seriously bad happened, but that's pretty wild something like that happened. How I think it's whoever did it, I think they ought to be arrested and put in jail. I think it's absolutely despicable and deplorable that someone would do something like that. I think it's absolutely...
Or we should worship him as a god.
So you're not going to go off and explode the
worship him as a god? No, we should string him up, basically, and put him in the same ring with Nikki Bella and let him take bad acting lessons. Because, again, like I said, that was a horrible, horrible segment tonight.
So we
All right.
worship him like a god.
Well, JD, now let's get your high point, low point for this show.
All right, the high point of the night, however, I got to say, I mean, even though it was the main event, once again, Super Cena proves everyone wrong again because, once again, he has to be Superman, at least for the second week or so. I think that was the best match of the night. The worst point of the night, however, has to be the whole Bella thing, by far, as I said already a couple times. It continues to be a joke, and it's going to continue to be a joke in more ways. And the one thing I laugh at, and you guys will probably laugh at this too, however, was it me, or did Paige forget to put on her makeup when she came out tonight, however, for that little thing with whole AJ and Stephanie? Because she looked like Casper the white friendly ghost tonight when you saw her in the ring. I mean, Jesus, God almighty. She looked freaking, I wouldn't say disturbing, but she was just, ugh.
I don't know, I was watching what's happening.
I'm just worried about the happening.
I'm sure it helps her look extra pale when she's in there with the Bellas, who are they Italian or Spanish? I can't remember. And AJ's Spanish.
They're Italian.
So they're all tanner skinned.
Oh, AJ could not be that tan.
Whatever there. But yeah, Paige just forgot to put her makeup, and she looked real creepy. And then when Stephanie says to AJ, "Give me the Divas title," AJ, you know what, Stephanie? F you, okay? Quit having your husband and your cronies kiss your ass every week. I'm tired of seeing the same bullshit every week. I mean, I told you for weeks on end, guys, go away. We don't need to have the authority on TV anymore. I'm getting tired of seeing the same bullshit every week.
All right, JD, we got a couple more callers in the queue we're going to get to. Always like having you on here, though. We'll talk to you next week, man.
Yes, and for our new segment, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, ask JD. So people in the chat room, get ready for that one next week. All right, JD, have a good night.
Good night, guys.
Bye.
I'm trying to look for the right sound effect for what I forget who even said it in the chat room now, but like 1,000 dying boners or something like that.
So you don't have like a boing or something like that?
I got one here.
Close enough.
All right. Let's we got another caller on the line. I'm just gonna ask you to be patient just for one more second. Let's just I don't know. Well, I mean, maybe not. Do we got anything else you want to talk about this opening segment? Is there anything, Drew, you didn't really get a chance to speak about the opening segment of the show tonight? Anything you want to say? The highlight reel?
Shoot. Fuck, I don't even remember what the opening segment was.
All right, fuck it. We'll bring on the next caller then. So we're bringing on a caller from 540. Caller from 540, you're live on the Raw Post Show. What's your name and where you're calling from?
John from Front Royal. Good evening, guys.
What's up, John? Good to have you on the show. I believe you called in before, right?
Yes, I have. How y'all doing?
Tremendous, man. How was your Labor Day?
Hey, Jeff.
Labor Day was good. It was all good.
That's fantastic, man. So what'd you think about Raw tonight?
I think it was okay in most respective, although I do think the tag team matches were, all these matches with tag teams, I think they were a bit overdone.
Yeah, I mean, that's like an old staple of Raw, and especially like without Teddy Long around, it's a surprise to have this many tag matches, but it's lazy when you can't think of something to actually do with the match or one or two different storylines. You just make tag matches, or in the case of the Divas, just throw them all in the ring and have them shove each other. and not have wardrobe malfunctions. Waste of time.
Yep. Anyway, did you see? Are you guys baseball fans? First of all,
Spaceballs, like the Mel Brooks movie.
No. The actual Major League Baseball.
Oh, baseball. I think you said Spaceballs. Okay, baseball. I was a baseball fan years ago, but what's going on in baseball right now?
Did you hear that the Philadelphia Phillies today beat Atlanta in no-hitter innings? Did you hear that? Combined no-hitters.
That's impressive.
I'm surprised that I didn't, because I'm from the Philadelphia area, and people usually go nuts over that kind of stuff on Facebook, but I haven't seen any posts about that, actually.
Yeah. But anyway, let's get back to wrestling.
No, hold on.
First of all,
we I don't know if he's serious about this question, but Creep was under radar. Once we heard you are a baseball fan, he said, ask him about them Fleer trading cards. So how about them Fleer trading cards?
I don't know. I don't own any one of them. I really don't. Not really. But anyway, back to wrestling. First of all, referring to what that guy said about that Michael guy. What's his name? That gay guy. I agree with what he said.
He said something.
I think he's talking about how if Michael Sam did not show up, how they would have like put all this advertisement on his name, and how that would have just like, I guess it's kind of like improper use of his character.
Well, I agree with what he said. I agree with what that guy said on your phone. If that were to happen, then yes, it would be a big egg on Vince McMahon too. But it's gonna be far from the cake. I guarantee you this, though, they could probably bring in a guy like that looks like Michael Sam. Remember back in the old days when Bill Clinton was president and they had like an actor play for him in the WWE?
Oh, yeah,
remember that?
WrestleMania 10.
Yeah, remember that?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think that's going to happen. Well, I think that'll be the same thing.
Oh, you think they're going to have like some indie guy come out dressed like Michael Sam? It'll probably be Damian Sandow.
I would hope so. but they said that he was going to be invited to the show, and JBL said, if he accepts the invitation, we're going to talk to him.
I don't know.
But,
it's not making me excited at all as a wrestling fan. I don't give a crap about Michael Sam showing up, and I don't know how much of a crossover there is.
I mean, okay, here's another great question I might add. Although Monday Night Raw will be next week, I think two of the great matches are going to be good. Reigns and Orton and Jericho and Wyatt. So I think it'll give Raw time to compete with like Monday Night Football.
Well, they're certainly going to need it, man. Monday Night Football is always a trouble for them in the ratings once they get to that part of the season. They say they don't have competition because WCW is gone, but that's not true. Now they're competing with everything else that's on cable.
Raw it's not 1995 anymore. Raw's going to have to, or 1998. Raw's going to have to step up and fight all these guys. SmackDown, on the other hand, has been doing so well. Like Friday, they've been, I think, up to like number 1, but I don't know where SmackDown's been very much. But the second thing I want to get to is let's see. Oh, the Diva segment. I think the Brie Nikki storyline made me. I was very sick to my stomach when I saw Nikki Bella with those clips of her talking about Brie tolling her car, Brie stealing her date, and Brie letting Nikki take her exam. I don't think none of that stuff is true. Anyway.
What are you talking about? They had pictures.
Well, I don't know. I can't understand. But yeah.
No, Brie Bella was a
they're
spoiled brat.
And then they're in the ring with Paige and AJ, and then they're in the ring. Stephanie saying, Nikki, it's my honor that you get the next title shot at Night of Champions. And Brie's like, Nikki, is that what you're about? Is that what you wanted? A Divas title match? And then suddenly, here's AJ skipping around the ring saying, hi, boss lady. I'm the rightful number one contender. I'm trying not to speak like falsetto. And then Paige comes out.
You had Mickey Mouse mode there.
And then Paige comes out saying, oh, AJ, I'm still your frenemy. We can still fight and complete. Then, yeah, I didn't notice Paige had a white look on her face, but now that you mentioned it, I think I did. And Nikki was like, quit, Brie, quit again, quit. I tell you what, I would love to see Spree knock out Nikki soon. And she did when she shoved her.
Mm-hmm.
And then AJ was skipping around with the Divas title, and then Stephanie in a loud voice saying, AJ, give me the Divas title now. I tell you what.
So Jeff, before we let you go, man, we always like to ask people what their high point and low point for the show was. What was your favorite part and your least favorite part of Raw tonight?
Now getting into this next part before I answer that.
Okay.
I mean, I have to talk about Cena versus Lesnar before I do that. I mean, Cena was pretty good tonight, and I think that was the best match we had.
All right. I didn't want to have to do that. I did try to make that move along, buddy. I'm sorry. We appreciate your call. It was a good call, but it was just running on a little long there. So, guys, we're back to talking about Raw, I guess. So, what'd you think about Raw?
I named it Lopez.
I kind of wanted to hear the rest of the thought, though.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh my god. I'm sorry. It was just oh fucking A. This Raw was terrible. I'm just in a bad mood. I'm sorry, guys.
You know, it's like 4 Raws in a row that were just.
Yeah, when was the last time we had like a Raw post show where we were just like generally saying, let's talk about all this awesome stuff that happened on Raw? I think it was that night where like 7 people returned in one night.
I don't know, but Jeff had a lot to say.
Yeah, thank you for calling in, Jeff. It was a good call. Hopefully we'll hear from you again, but we just gotta move things along here. We only got a certain amount of time live here on the air, and we gotta talk about 2 hours of Raw, and 3 hours of Raw, and there's all this action-packed stuff we gotta talk about from this episode of Raw, like Jack Swagger versus Curtis Axel. Yeah, that was a match that happened on tonight's show, but more importantly, during this match. First off, Zeb Coulter came back. Happy to see Zeb Coulter back. But Bo Dallas interrupts during the match, brings out 3 random white people, sits them in chairs, and after Jack Swagger gets the victory with the Patriot Lock, we go through each one of these random white people, and they talk about how their life was ruined because of Jack Swagger. One guy lost money because he bet on Swagger. Another one lost because he failed his citizenship test. And then this other one, their son used to be like treat Jack Swagger as their hero, but now their hero is Vladimir Putin. Gosh, this was more classic Bo Dallas, and I'm happy to see that back. Well, what did you guys think about this, Tony?
I lost track of everything. This whole episode is really kind of in the shitter for the most part, but not horrible. I mean, there's been bad things, but everything that happened was either like okay or terrible, kind of. And this was a situation where it was sort of both at the same time. Like, it's good that it's terrible for Bo Dallas because his character, it revolves around that idea. But holy shit, if I didn't love that, it would be so fucking bad. What was the name of the second guy? Angelo?
Angelo, yeah. He's gonna get deported back to Italy.
And he's smiling during the fucking thing because he knows how stupid this is. It's like Angela's going to get deported back to Italy, and he looks up and he's got this smirk on his face, and then he just puts his head down like, no, don't want to get deported. Oh god, this whole episode was just filled with like random stupid extra supporting characters. Like,
oh yeah, it was
Mrs. I don't know what they called her. Yeah, the makeup artist, and then you've got Angela and Jennifer, and what's the first guy? Bruce or Neil or?
I think I have their names down here. Let me. Ricky. Yeah, it was Ricky, Angelo, and Jennifer.
So he's losing his farm. Angelo's getting deported, and Jennifer just. She was the one with the kid, right?
She was the one whose son who has like a Vladimir Putin poster in his bedroom.
It was so bad that it was good. It was one of the rare things in this episode that was good and bad at the same time.
Drew, what did you think about it?
About the Rusev match. Bo Dallas. I liked Bo Dallas's part. I think Wago said something about how this is his best work.
No, Wago hasn't talked yet.
Well, no, I remember him posting something about it earlier in our little group chat thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I like.
Fuck me then.
What? Oh, it was a good match. Bo Dallas, Swagger won. Sorry, the fat is strong with this one.
Wago, what'd you think about it?
I had a moment when I realized, oh yeah, we are the mean clique. During when he's introducing all the people on stage and he gets to the woman, I'm like, oh, what's she gonna say? The fucking Jack Swagger made her a fat bitch. And I'm like, oh.
How would that have to do with it?
Well, she went into a depression after he lost, and then she just like dived into a tub of ice cream and never came out.
Did he lose like last month? He's like spent the last month eating ice cream.
Hey, it could happen.
That's how it would happen. Yeah. Don't ask questions and get answers that you don't, or you know what I mean.
Yeah, outside
of questions either, Paden.
Outside of Triple H and Jericho arguing over fucking scarves and ties, this was the funniest thing on the show. So this is good for me.
And who would have thought Curtis Axel would get featured in a singles match? When was the last time that happened?
Well, last time he was
champion.
Wow, we got everyone talking at the same time. That was awesome.
Hey, you didn't specifically ask someone. I'm just saying.
Yes, what a lead host.
Fucking bullshit!
All right,
we need to time count all three of us at the same time. That's how we need to do it.
Let's bring on another caller. This is someone who I've seen in the chat room there. Silent Wind of Doom! Silent Wind of Doom,
Holy
you're
crap.
live on the Raw post show. What's up, dude?
Sweet. All of the pressure. Nothing much. Watched tonight. Wrote down my list of points again as I was watching this time, which is good because we didn't get a recap today. It's kind of been a schmaz the whole show. This show, you guys. But I wrote down some things. That tie is not freaking violet. I don't care. I'll take lavender, maybe. Not violet.
I would say mauve.
I'll take mauve, sure. Maybe.
I'm just gonna say salmon because that's apparently all I can fucking see.
Yeah, Wago is colorblind. So.
Am I the only one during the first Nikki segment when she said that Ryan had disappeared that for a moment thought she was going to say that Bree had murdered him and sunk him in a swamp somewhere?
I definitely got that reaction too. I was just like, oh, they're going with Bree's a murderer. Great.
She's like, this is the only photo that was ever taken of us. I was like, oh gosh, this is gonna get dark fast.
And then he disappeared.
Bree stole Big Show's gun, and we never saw Ryan again.
And every one of those segments always stopped with, and I never told anybody.
Fuck, you say you never saw her again. Maybe she shot Paul as well. We never saw him again.
I love Paul Heyman. Today, I think he may have gone a slight bit off the deep end. Apparently, Brock is as strong as at least double Infinity. or more.
Hmm.
He said the beating that Cena was going to get was as much as the entire locker room could give him, plus infinity twice.
That's too much math for me, man.
It's a whole lot of beating. It's way too much beating. We've gone beyond the pale.
Not as much beating as that happened on the Fappening.
We need to get Scott Steiner in to do the rest of that math, the 33 1/3% and stuff.
I did not hear about this at all, this Fappening. Oh, I guess we'll find out about that later.
Oh yeah, it's all over the place at this point, man. You can't go to any website without finding like reports or pictures from the Fappening. It's you know what?
With all that beating, it probably is all over the place.
It's taken over the ice bucket challenge at least. But now I haven't seen a good ice bucket challenge in my feed in like a couple days, so you know we could have the Fappening clogging our feeds for a while.
Should I make the really, really bad pun joke right now?
What's that?
Sure.
It's going to turn into the cum buckets challenge.
All right. Well, Silent Wind of Doom, continue on, please.
I tried to catch up because I started like an hour and a half later.
Mm-hmm.
I was like 27 minutes behind, and I caught up almost 20 minutes, not even joking, just by skipping the intros in the main event. Just 7 people all coming out with this huge video package, and everything took like 20 minutes, which is good. I got to catch up. And
the sad thing is, you could have just skipped everything and not missed anything.
That's true. As I was fast forwarding, pretty much every time I just saw 3 announcers together talking, I fast forwarded. So all of a sudden, I saw that Bray Wyatt and Jericho are in a cage match. Was there any setup to that, or did they just announce, "Hey, we're doing a cage match next week"?
Yeah, I guess they're just trying to make next week's show look beefier. So their big thing is it's a SummerSlam rematch, and this time it's in a steel cage.
So that's about it. That's about it. Highlight, low light, the Divas match. I don't know what the heck that was.
It was a match.
It was a match.
It was a match. That is indeed what it was.
My highlight, you asked me last week. I said my highlight was the Damian Sandow Miz thing. But you asked me tonight, and I say that my highlight is Vladimir Putin.
What?
I gotta pee.
I'm sorry again. That was the one point that actually made me just laugh out loud.
Someone else actually putting Vladimir Putin on the screen rather than Lana. This is the first time someone else said his name like that. It was unexpected.
I like Bo. All right, that's about it.
All right, well, thanks for calling in, Silent Wind of Doom. It's been fun having you on the show and having you in the chat room as well. Hope you'll stick around. We'll hear from you next week.
Sounds good.
All right, have a good night, dude. Oh, goodness gracious, guys. There is just nothing to talk about from this goddamn show. What are we going to talk about for the rest of the show tonight?
So has anyone found AJ's Fappening stuff yet?
No, but there is a picture going around of her wedding with CM Punk, and apparently they're like way more pissed off that those photos were leaked than like any of the celebrities are that were leaked in the Fappening.
Yeah, I think CM Punk said, "Whoever retweets the photo, I am going to block you because I can't punch you in the face."
Wow, Punk.
You know, I'm so tempted to retweet it now. Just so
Punk is such a high school girl. I don't like it. I'm going to walk out. Whoa. You're not tweeting things. I'm going to block you.
You know, most people, well, it's like this. Most people, you know, weddings, you know, it's kind of like a personal thing. But, you know, you'll show the wedding, at least one wedding photo. I mean, come on. One wedding photo.
And at least post a good wedding photo and not that, like, shitty cell phone quality photo that's been going around where they have, like, the cat eyes thing going on.
Well, CM Punk is catty.
Oh, God.
Oh, that was bad.
Yeah, you went for best joke of this night after the one that I made.
Why don't we make a Seinfeld reference? That'll really go over well.
So
what did happen on this episode of Raw? Because I don't have many notes down. I've got more notes about the fact that Jerry Lawler said that he's got the Tank Brothers, Sherman, and Septic than anything else.
I remember Sheamus being in a match that I liked. I just don't remember who was in it.
Sheamus was in a tag match. He teamed with Dolph Ziggler. They're the two mid-card champions, and they really didn't play that up much at all, against Cesaro and Miz. And the fun thing about this match was when the Miz sent in his new stunt double, Damien Mizdow. He goes into the ring. Ziggler hits the zigzag on him, but Miz sneaks up from behind and hits the skull-crushing finale on Dolph Ziggler for the win. It was a pretty cool finish.
Oh yeah, that's why I liked it. Okay, thank you.
There's
I wanted to say one thing that I remembered from tonight. Triple H introduced the new name for the company, WWE.
Oh, so they're regressing back. So they're going back to having 3 Ws like they had in the 70s.
And also, the new champion is Brock Cena.
Oh, Tony, what were you going to say?
Well, I actually was going to bring those two up eventually, but that's good. We got them out of the way. The thing with the match, the Sheamus match, there were 2 things that I thought were interesting in it. One was when Cesaro was just smacking Sheamus's face. That was pretty interesting because he was just flat out, I don't know, batting it like a fucking cat would or something. And JBL's just fucking do something, Sheamus. And another part, and this is something that I had asked you guys when we were watching it and just kind of chatting alongside, so I want to know what the chat thinks about this. Did Dolph Ziggler actually yell out to Cesaro to make a tag during the match? Because it sounded to me like he shouted out,
"This is really bothering you."
Yeah, I really want to know because, everybody who watches Botchamania knows that there's that whole people talk too much and, that ends up coming out there. But he literally yelled something across the ring to Cesaro. And I think that he said, "Get ready, Cesaro." And immediately after that, they transitioned into Cesaro tagging himself in. And I'm like, if that's really what he told him to do, it's just oh, yeah, it's time for you to tag in right now. And he did that. That's one of the most blatant times that they've ever just called something out that I've ever seen before. He might as well have just been like, "Yo, you guys remember that we're supposed to lose this match later?"
Tony, you're that guy that you go to the movies with, and he's like, "Oh, look, you can see the cable that's pulling him back."
Only afterward.
Goodness.
So that was the match.
We were talking about how the show was filled with a lot of outsider characters. You know who got some extra love again tonight? The Bunny. The Bunny's back in the scene. We had a match between Adam Rose and the Gator of Slater Gator. But the match itself didn't freaking matter because it was all about the Bunny that went over to play with Heath Slater. Heath pushes the Bunny down, which was the best part. But then the Bunny attacks Slater, causing Titus O'Neil to be distracted and get rolled up, which normally we would have just a ball making fun of a distraction roll up. But you know what? I think this was okay because we got to see the Bunny get pushed down on his tail. Anybody? Anything?
I like
bunny,
Heath
Slater. Yeah, I love the Bunny.
I like Heath Slater's dog bark. That's entertaining, but that was about the only entertaining thing of this match.
Tony, anything?
The Bunny. Where the fuck was that bee at?
And where was the bee? We haven't seen her in a while.
Probably because she was taking too much attention away from Adam Rose. If that's it, the Bunny wasn't.
I'm going to do myself in even worse. They told her to buzz off.
That's just...
I think that she legitimately just got passed up for getting a job.
I think Drew's getting excited because he's not the being time card for once.
We could do that, big gal. Wow.
We had a horrendous Divas match tonight. It was a 6 Divas match. I'm not even going to bother listing the Divas because the time it would take me to name them all would be longer than the actual match was. If I recall right, the crowd started chanting Randy Savage within 5 to 10 seconds of the beginning of the match.
Yeah.
It didn't take any time whatsoever. And they said that it's some kind of DQ. All the Divas rush into the ring. I have no freaking idea. Just when I thought the Divas division was starting to look better and getting some more love, and they might actually be taking them serious on TV, this happens.
Nope.
And this is just takes me back to 2 years ago when things were just absolutely horrendous like this. In the days of Kelly. I do not want to go back to the days of Kelly. We have all these excellent divas
Kelly.
down in NXT that are going to be coming up very soon. You got Paige and AJ who should be leading the front on something big that should be happening with this division. Why trot out all these little hoskies just because you want to promote your show on Sunday nights or whatever the hell it is that Total Divas airs on, that you're not going to convince them to watch with this stupid-ass segment. No one is going to give a fuck because of this segment. No.
You want to know who they should have?
What?
On Total Divas? They should have Charlotte, because Ric Flair drunk the entire time being an ass. That sounds fun to watch.
Oh, well, the last time they had that on TV, Jim Ross got fired.
Well, Jim Ross isn't around this time. Who's going to get fired this time in this place?
Well, how about we put Kevin Dunn in charge so he gets fired?
What do you mean? He's made such great calls tonight, like in the middle of the Usos match, to cut into the crowd and look at the bored kids, like you were saying.
Yeah, I was like, I've got pockets. I like pockets.
If that was their conversation, then that's amazing. They sit there at a WWE event. Yo, you got them pockets? Yeah, mine are sweet.
Oh, goodness gracious. Anyone else got anything they want to say about this Divas match?
I got some sweet-ass pockets.
There's another thing that JBL had said, or was it? It might have been Jerry Lawler. I'm pretty sure it was JBL though. They were talking about Rosa and saying that like she's beautiful, she's the newest member of Total Divas cast, etc., etc. And then they were like, she's marginally athletic. Like such a hearty dig at her because she's so fucking terrible. She's by far the worst diva that they have on the roster, if not the worst that she's had in years on the roster.
Well, I guess unfortunately another night goes by where she did not get a win on TV.
That's true. She's only won once. And that's like her biggest career goal, apparently.
Biggest career goal is just to win a match on TV.
Yeah, she got an interview with somebody the other day, and it was like, I really want to win a match, and that's one of my things I'm striving for right now. And it's like, that's terrible.
Not winning a title, not going into the Hall of Fame, just winning a match.
I think we found something sadder than Zack Ryder's existence.
We had a match that was dubbed as containing over 1,400 pounds of humanity, with the Big Show and Mark Henry going against Luke Harper and Erick Rowan. Again, the match didn't matter diddly squat. The important thing was that Rusev came out and attacked Mark Henry during it for the disqualification, continuing the upcoming match that we're likely to have between Mark Henry and Rusev, presumably just another person for Rusev to step on his way to whatever the hell it is he's doing. I mean, they're doing this weird thing right now where Mark Henry's both doing this tag team with the Big Show and this story with Rusev. Matter of fact, later on the night, we would have a backstage segment with Big Show and Mark Henry where Mark just basically tells, yo, I need to take care of this Rusev thing for me and for my country. And Big Show says, yeah, okay, you get him, dude. You can kick his ass. I guess that's fine. It's just kind of weird that of all people that you would have doing two storylines at the same time, it's Mark Henry. I like Mark Henry.
You know what I didn't understand about this? Like, they had this match last week or 2 weeks ago, but they didn't bill it as this. I don't understand why. Why did they wait 2 weeks to do this?
They didn't have the graphic ready.
Apparently, that graphic that says 1,400 pounds of steel, meals, and sex appeals wasn't ready.
No, they're working on that one for next week.
Okay.
I think you better stay on top of them, making sure they get that done in time. But Wago, what were you gonna say?
Hang on, let me go check the fact chart. I'll be right back.
Can you move him already? What made me laugh about this segment is it was like Big Show was going, but we're in a team. Nah, I gotta do this. Okay, I'll help you. Nah, I gotta do this. It was like, yeah, fuck up, Show. Totally left him hanging. It was like every time he tried to get involved, he was like, nah.
Tony,
so
Go ahead, finish.
I felt bad for Big Show. I felt bad for Big Show. I'm hoping we get a heel turn now.
Oh, are we gonna get like crying Big Show again? Because I miss that so much.
Fuck, it's better than not doing anything, Big Show.
Tony, where is this going? I mean, is this just like they have long-term plans for Big Show and Mark Henry, but they already have plans for Mark Henry to job to Rusev, or is this really going to all come together in some way?
Excuse me. I think what we're going to get here is Rusev is going to beat Mark Henry. Big Show is going to be the next person that Rusev ends up beating, because they'll just be like transitioning into, well, Big Show is going to fight him next instead. And the entire reason that they're doing that is just to put Rusev over. It sucks. I don't actually want to see that happen, because I've been wanting Rusev to lose for a long while, and I have officially declared myself just not a fucking fan of him. But they're going to do everything in their power to just keep him winning and staying with the standard track record of everything. As far as the Mark Henry and Big Show tag team, though, I actually really liked this segment. I thought that was cool to have the two of them slugging themselves up backstage, and it's something that's not crazy different, but we still actually don't see that all that often, where there's two tag team members that are just supportive of each other and not cutting a WWE promo that's like the standard WWE promo. How many of these tag teams have we seen backstage and they're like, hey, we got to go out there and win. Yeah, okay, well, I'll be there to support you. All right, man, thanks. And then they like slap the other one on the shoulder, they slap the other guy, and then they look at the camera for 5 seconds until it fades away. You can see that a million times, and you can tell that they're just, following procedure. But the way that they were doing this little, like, you gonna beat his ass? Yeah, all right, you gonna beat his fucking ass? It seemed like something that you see in, like, a locker room at a fucking football team. Like, the way that they do that kind of stuff, I actually like that a lot. I'd like to see more of that. Two people that are just like these incredibly huge fucking dudes in WWE, and they're just like, yo, let's just fuck shit up. You want to fuck shit up? Yeah, you want to fuck shit up too? Woo, let's go fuck shit up. I like it.
Well, we got another caller waiting here, so let's bring them on from the 508. Caller from 508, what's your name and where you calling from?
Hello.
Hi, 518.
How are you?
I'm tremendous. What's your name?
Melissa Jenkins.
Melissa Jenkins. How you doing, Melissa Jenkins?
Good. How are you?
Absolutely tremendous. What'd you think of Raw tonight?
It was excellent.
What was your favorite part?
Only reason why I watch it is for John Cena.
Okay. What'd you like that John Cena did tonight?
It's not what he does, it's how he looks.
Okay.
Okay, this is gonna be the worst fucking prank call attempt ever.
Oh.
Damn it, I missed it. I wasn't paying attention. What did I miss?
If you were serious about that, then kudos. I mean, whatever, to each his own, but still.
Yeah, if that was a serious caller, then I actually feel bad for time counting you like that. But oh my goodness, I did not expect that, and I just sounds like it was a prank caller. I could not take that seriously.
No, there's no way that they don't have a penis.
I love this fucking episode.
That call sums this fucking episode up to a T.
I feel bad. They were waiting a while too. Whoops.
Oh God, they waited for that call.
Oh, but it was worth the fucking wait.
We do have a request from Ferris419 for 508 to call back again. So.
All right, if 508 calls back in, I won't do that. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done that. I just didn't know what to do. It sounded like a...
No, wait, what did you do? I completely missed it.
You'll have to listen back to the archive version on smarkoutmoment.com, Drew.
Oh, my God.
Go back to eating your stale crackers, Drew.
Okay, I'm not going to listen to myself sound like an idiot. Screw off. I'll just go to the chat. Chat does not have my back. Oh, yeah.
Chat hate you too.
Well,
yeah, that's why I said they don't have my back.
We were talking about Rusev. before we had that call. Rusev had a match tonight between himself and Zack Ryder. So Zack Ryder got a match on Raw, but unfortunately he didn't get to look too good with it. Rusev winning with the accolade fairly quickly. Mark Henry comes out, chases him out of the ring, grabs the mic, challenges Rusev to come into the ring. Of course he doesn't, but Mark Henry comes out with an American flag in his background of his video now. So, yeah.
No. Wait, no. It was Jack Swagger's. Because it had "We the People" at the top of it.
It actually did say "We the People" at the top of it?
Yeah, that's why I said no. It's Jack Swagger's. I don't know why they did that, but it said "We the People" at the top, and I was like, why is Jack Swagger coming out with sexual chocolates? Mark Henry, he's gonna beat some ass. That's what Jack Swagger needed. He just needed Mark Henry's theme music.
Oh my God! See, I thought they would just use like the American flag. They probably didn't realize that it says "We the People" on the top, because I'm sure they wouldn't have liked that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's all we have to say about that. Do we want to talk about this this Nikki Bree segment? Yes.
Well, I wish it died like Nikki wished Bree died in the womb. Shit.
I wish this segment died in the writing room.
So I pitched this idea of growing up Bella, but then I never told anyone again. That's what should have happened. This is so terrible. God damn it. This was fucking awful.
No, I thought it was the AJ and Stephanie part of it was interesting. I don't know if they're like hinting at a feud between those two. I think that would be cool going forward.
Have it be like Austin McMahon, but it's gonna be AJ Steph. I could deal with that.
I think it'd be interesting because I don't know. Some people don't think AJ's gonna stick around for too much longer, and if she's not, I think having like a Stephanie AJ feud and leading to AJ getting fired, I think something like that would be interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I've been hearing the story. I've been hearing a story. I don't know about the sources behind this, but the reason why she's mad at Stephanie is because Stephanie tweeted out the picture of the wedding.
Oh. Wait, was that from JeffelZone.com?
It might have been. I don't know. I gotta double check that source, but
JeffelZone/eyebrow.
It might have been scoops.com.
Okay.
Ooh, I got a fart.
I actually did like the way that they're going to transition this into a fatal four-way match, most likely though, instead of having two separate matches. Because
why would they?
Guys, but I'm tired of having two Divas matches on each card.
Yeah.
I know.
We don't need that to happen.
There's going to be a Total Divas match now on that card. There's going to be. Oh
no! Don't wish that.
They're promoting it. They're promoting it now. There's going to be.
But at the least this means we're not having a singles match between the two Bellas. But at this point, what it looks like is our match is Paige versus Nikki until we get confirmation. Otherwise, is there any money in that match for you guys?
Yeah, because it was good at SummerSlam. They just need to give it like a few more minutes. That's all.
I think the whole reason this fair four-way match is coming together is to transfer the belt onto Nikki Bella without directly making Paige or AJ look weak, and I'm not a fan of it.
Then what are they going to do with Paige and AJ afterwards, after the match or the feud? Or
they could
can
chase
anyone
for the
translate
title.
what Drew just said?
He's asking what they'll do with AJ or Paige after Nikki takes the title, and I just say they'll chase it.
Or they'll feud with each other until one of them's ready for the belt.
Mm-hmm.
But there's so many divas, and they have too many segments, and there's too many feuds. What are they gonna do? Maybe one of them will join. But
we're pretty butthurt about it.
Just imagine like Paige on Total Divas, all those tan women, and then one really pale stepchild. That's what Paige would be.
We had a continuation of this heel turn between Goldust and Stardust, where we had a singles match between Goldust and Jimmy Uso. Goldust gets the pinfall victory after the final cut in convincing fashion. Certainly looks like Goldust and Stardust are our favorites to go against Jimmy Uso and Jey Uso for those tag titles. And I'm going to hope they take them. I am really digging this Dustbusters tag team, and I dig them even more as heels. I think it fits them very well. They remind me of like the early Doink character. It was just this sinister and creepy, yet still kind of like bizarre and silly in some ways. I dig it, and I really want to see where they go with it. And I think if they get the Cosmic Key, anything could be possible for them. What did you guys think about it?
Is he Dustin or is he Goldust? Because when he cuts a promo, he becomes Dustin Rhodes. I don't like it. He needs to stay in character.
Do you wish he stuttered more like old Goldust?
I'm not talking about electrocuted Goldust. I'm just talking the Goldust gimmick. Cody does it still, but I just don't like her. It kind of just seems odd that he's being there being this weird character, and then he sounds totally normal when he cuts a promo again. I don't buy into it.
But if someone needs to stutter more, they know who to go to. They need to go to Musicata.
Or Matt Morgan.
Or he might be ahead of me actually. Never mind.
Tony, you got anything to say about this? The progress of this story?
I'm interested to see the rest of this feud, and I would be okay with new tag champs or keeping the Usos. I still like the Usos. I still think that they're doing well with the position that they're in. The crowd's still reacting, except for those two kids that were more interested in their pockets. But the Dust team is still just not clicking the way that it should for me, and part of it might be the music. I like the music on its own, but they haven't quite figured out how to do an entrance that doesn't seem awkward to me. And Cody Rhodes is trying new things, and that's good, but he's being, I don't want to say like flamboyant, because that's not exactly what I mean. It's not that he's pushing any boundaries like that Goldust used to with that. It's just that he's being awkward. And it's unsettling, but it's unsettling because I can tell that it's the performance that's awkward and not the character. So if they do become the tag champs, they're going to have to work on this a whole lot more to really sell me on it being a good idea. But it's a possibility. I mean, they are so much better as heels than baby faces. They weren't doing jack shit when they were baby faces. So that's a huge step up. And if they continue that trend, then they might get to a point where I'm okay with that. But I'd be fine with the Usos keeping it too, and maybe even giving it to the Ascension down the line.
That's someone else we got to keep on the radar. I mean, tag team division is always on this like verge of being something cool and just being 100% dead, and it just falters on which side of the line it's at. But I think we're on an upswing right now. You got a good amount of tag teams there. I think Mark Henry and Big Show's tag team could be a really good option long term, because these guys, there's still value in them, but maybe they're not great to keep on singles roles by themselves. But as a tag team, you could definitely keep some money with those guys, having them go out there and just beat the shit out of some random heel tag team, or if you want to make them heels, some random babyface tag team to triumph over them. Whatever it is, there's ways to handle all these things that you got right now and put exposure to it all and actually make all your belts possibly mean something for the first time in like a decade, probably more. There's my rant about that.
I think they could be like the new natural disasters, except for more successful.
Drew, you got anything you want to say about this this Dust to Dust Usos segment? Drew?
I think he's eating a breadstick.
Yeah, pockets.
Oh no, Drew's call dropped. Oh, what will we do? Oh no. You can tell me. Well, we got one thing left to talk about from the show. That was the main event, and as always, I'm just going to go ahead and force it. I barely paid any attention. I'm at the point where at the end of 3 hours and these main events just not really mattering, I don't care about most main events anymore. And when it's a meaningless six-man tag, I mean, I guess they had this little bit of an extra thing where Triple H and Stephanie were sitting ringside, and they were looking to see who they're going to decide to have face Brock Lesnar at the next pay-per-view. Of course it's going to be John Cena. You already signed the match and said it was. And if you didn't, John Cena was going to sue. Ooh. Yeah, there you go.
So John Cena's a bitch.
Yeah, he is. Tony, anything to say about this?
No, not that much. I'm in the same boat as you. When you get to that end of the show, 3 hours have gone by. We've been taking notes for the Raw post show. We're working on other stuff. You know, we're maybe editing posts for Fanboys or Smart Out Moment or something, or You know, we're trying to keep track of what's going on Raw, but we're also doing other things that are more productive. And if you don't have anything that's really going to stand out and really try to catch my attention, a 6-man tag that has no repercussions whatsoever, it doesn't matter who wins. It's just going to be some kind of a distraction or interference ending, and a bunch of people are going to hit their finishers, and then one person's going to get either a roll-up or they're going to get the last finisher, and then it's going to be the end of the match. And, you know, who gives a shit? I could see that all the time on SmackDown. I could see that on Main Event. I could see that on the pre-show leading up to any pay-per-view when you want to redo this 100,000 times. It's not necessary.
What this was, it was a case of, oh, we don't have Brock, and we don't know how to promote a match without him. Let's go into panic mode and put this smoz of a match together. And whilst the match wasn't bad, by the third hour, no one gives a shit anymore.
And, you know, it really doesn't make sense, because who got the pinfall victory? You know?
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns. Not John Cena. So Roman Reigns gets the pin, and yet John Cena's music plays, and John Cena stands there in front of Triple H. I'll see you at Night of Champions. Yeah, okay.
Yep.
Silent Wind of Doom is asking, is it terrible that he was tricked and thought that there may actually change the main event of Night of Champions to put off Lesnar versus Cena? I thought there may have been a possibility during the first segment, but once it got to that 6-man tag, I was like, no, they're just doing the same old freaking thing with John Cena. So you're not completely
right. I didn't think they was going to change anything, but it was a random curveball that they threw out, so there's no shame in it.
So that's our talk about Raw. Let's start wrapping things up here. Let's do a good, bad, and ugly. It is the good, the bad, and the ugly, where we talk about what our favorite part of the show was, what our least favorite part of the show was, and what we thought the most god-awful, embarrassing crap from the entire show was. If you're in the chat room, feel free to write out your good, bad, and ugly, and we'll get it read here on the air. But in the meantime, let's start talking about ours. Steven Wago, what was your good, bad, and ugly?
My good was those kids looking at their pockets. The bad was this show in general, but to pick out something that was ugly, it has to go to those fucking Bella Twin segments.
Yeah, I can absolutely agree with that one. Tony?
Oh, for those that aren't a fan of the new WWE Network logo and the new championship title design, I'm pretty sure that the good for you is going to be that they're changing this again. We need a new championship to go with our brand new champion, Brock Cena. And the WWE Network is going to be a much different logo. So that is my good, and establishing that Triple H's tie is violet. I did like that line. That's Violet Nimrod. The bad and the ugly can kind of go swap between the two of them. I don't know which one's really bad and which one's really the ugly here, but the Total Divas tag match thing just fucking atrocious in so many different ways that we don't even need to break down. And of course the growing up Bella segments. Jesus God. It's like a Lifetime movie with Meredith Baxter Birney or some shit where they're going to be transitioning.
How do you even know that name?
I only know that from hearing stupid crap in the background and emblazing itself into my brain as that must be the only woman that's ever been in Lifetime movies. That's the only name I've ever heard. So, growing up Bella, Total Divas, anything with the women on tonight's episode, and that applies even to Jennifer and Mrs. Lackey. Just so bad, and it's a shame. And why not? Let's extend it to Melissa as well.
Yeah, indeed. All right, well, for my good, I'm going to give it to Bo Dallas, that whole segment there where he brought out the three people and they talked about how their lives were ruined. That was fun, and It wasn't even particularly amazing. Just on a lackluster Raw, that's what stuck out the most to me as the good. The bad is the regression that the Divas match of the night has made. It's just gone back to being absolute crap. For those of you out there who also are fans of the Solid Monsters podcast, he runs a Divas stopwatch every week where he sees how long the Divas matches are, and sometimes it gets embarrassingly short. And I have to imagine this has got to be a record for recent months of how short and how stupid and how worthless this was. None of these Divas looked better, and no one is going to be watching Total Divas because of this show. Stupid. And the ugly, I am going to give to those growing up Bella segments. I really tried to give them a chance. If you look into the chat room that we had while the show was going on, these guys instantly were shitting on it. I was like, no, come on, let's give it a chance. You know, they might actually have a little bit of nuggets of something awesome in here. No, that was just total garbage. So I believe I was the one who actually said, so we're all just spending these segments looking at Nikki's tits, right? Which was pretty much the whole part of the segment. So there you go. Let's see. I think we got one in the chat room here. Ferris419, good. AJ's hijinks, bad. Divas crap match, and ugly that Bunny BS and the Adam Rose match. Oh, that's too bad. Silent Wind of Doom. Silent Wind of Doom says good. Bo's ridiculousness, bad. I didn't find out anything about the fappening until just now, and the ugly Divas DQ. Chat room has been very fun tonight, as has our callers. We had a good amount of callers tonight. It was a fun show. Much more fun than I would have expected after that very blah Raw. Yeah?
Yeah, definitely. I'm fucking shocked that anyone came.
So, what do? We want to hang out here for a little while? We want to just kill this?
I think that we should hang out a little bit. What say you guys?
All right. Well, let's open up to the chat room. What do you want us to talk about? Throw topics at us, throw a question at us, and we'll put it out there. In the meantime, let me ask you guys, and this is a question I think everyone out there would probably like to know. What podcasts do you listen to outside of the ones inside of our family? You know, we're always supportive of every podcast that we all do, the Raw Post Show, Smack Talk, Keeping Kayfabe, Addicted to Anime, Unanimous Decision MMA. I'm sure I'm forgetting, and there's like 50 fucking podcasts on fanboysanonymous.com that you all should be checking out. But you know, some of the bigger name people, or even some of the smaller name people that you have found out and you've taken into your own personal listenings while you're driving, whatever the fuck it is you listen to. Well, Tony, why don't you go first?
None at all. I don't listen to a single other podcast. I only listen to ours.
Really?
You fucking snob.
Yeah, right? This is the same guy who, like, makes his whole living off ad revenue, yet he surfs the internet with ad block on.
Yeah, I don't.
To be fair, I also surf our websites with ad block on, so I'm not just being special treatment to myself here. No, but none of other people on other podcasts interest me that I've seen, and there's been some things that maybe I would check out, but I don't get the free time to do it. So it has to be something that's like really, really interesting for me to even give it a shot to begin with, and set that time aside. Because, oh, you know what? Actually, all right, there is one. I didn't even think about it because I watch it on YouTube instead of iTunes and stuff like that. It's the Arkham Sessions. It's a podcast with a trained, I think she's a psychologist, she might be a psychiatrist or something, and whoever the guy is on there, I'm not exactly sure what his job is, but the two of them break down old Batman animated series episodes and talk about the psychology behind it, like if Scarecrow was a real person, what different psychological factors would have led him to become Scarecrow and all that. Other than that, nope, just fanboys, mark out moment, that kind of shit.
Wago, how about you? I know you got at least a few inside your circulation.
Yeah, I check out Talk is Jericho. It's like the highlight reel, but good.
I actually was just listening to Talk is Jericho today. I was listening to his Batista interviews. Really good interviews.
I've still got to catch up on that. Steve Austin Show and Steve Austin Show Unleashed. If I had to recommend any podcast, I should recommend the Jim Cornette Part 2 one, where he talks about the I can't remember what's the team that he fucking used to manage with Bobby Eaton in it.
The Rock and Roll Express.
Yeah, he talks about a few pranks that they pulled on each other, and that whole fucking podcast episode's awesome, so check that out. And who else do I listen to? I listen to the Jim Ross Report, but I pick and choose on him because he can either enjoy the sound of his own fucking voice too much or just be really fucking boring. So I say, and I used to listen to the Joe Rogan Experience, but then I have to get my Alpha Brain son every fucking episode, and it got intolerable, so I dropped that off my repertoire.
Now, I'm with you on Joe Rogan. He also just makes too many damn episodes to keep up. Like, he's putting out like a 3-hour podcast every other day. It's like, damn, dude, I don't have that much of my life to give away to you to keep up with what's going on in your fucking show.
If I hear he's got like a particular guest I want to hear, I'll go check it out. But otherwise, I don't need my iTunes updating that often. Fuck me.
I will also back another one up to the Stone Cold Steve Austin show, both his regular one and his Unleashed show. He has his family-friendly version and also the unrated one. Both of them are great, and they both, have interviews that'll bounce between the two. So if you're over the age of 18, highly suggest grabbing both of those. I mean, you're listening to arguably the greatest professional wrestler of all time talk to other people about wrestling, or sometimes even other random bullcrap. I mean, life on the ranch and him doing other projects and other people doing their other projects. Always an enjoyable conversation. Unfortunately, him and a lot of the other Podcast One people suffer from the same problem of having too many damn commercials. But Austin, unlike them, I think actually makes them very entertaining. Anyone else, I would fast forward through the commercials, but Austin I usually listen to. He even manages to make them fairly entertaining. Austin's the man.
And also, he's like separating throughout the episodes now. He's getting a lot better about his ad placement. And if it's a deep conversation, like his Ken Shamrock interview, he'll pretty much just throw them to a side. And that's another one you should check out because, man, I didn't know Ken Shamrock had such a fucked up life until I listened to it.
Did you know he was a wrestler first? I didn't know that before.
No, I didn't realize he was fucking had to spend time in like a youth correction facility either. He's a really interesting case.
So did he like legitimately used to snap all the time? Like that was just.
Oh yeah, he had real anger management. That was a fucking nut job.
Talk is Jericho is very hit or miss too. I think Chris Jericho's just a little too bombastic on there. But if he has a good guest on there, he can be fun to listen to as well. Who else?
He needs to bring Bombastic Bob in.
Solid Monster Sounds Off, another good wrestling podcast to check out that's not done by a very big popular name. Let me pull up my my little iPhone here and see what else I got inside my feed here that's not coming to mind.
But yeah, I definitely agree with Solid Monster. He's the only one that I listen to outside of professional wrestlers themselves because he's the only one I can fucking stand, unlike two loud, boisterous idiots who I won't give the time of day or recognition.
Oh, you must be talking about those idiots from New York, right?
Those fucking dipsticks.
Yeah. You know who I actually would really recommend checking out? And it's wrestling people, but they actually very rarely talk about wrestling, is the JBL and Michael Cole show. Not their YouTube show. They actually have a weekly podcast that they put out. And it's really cool. They talk about more current events type things like world news and what's going on there. And it's kind of neat. You could use it as a news source. I wouldn't use it as your only news source. It's good to be informed. But it's kind of cool to hear these guys talk about something else than what we just usually hear them involved in or talking about. Yeah. That's neat. I would recommend checking that out.
There's one I missed. The Art of Wrestling, Colt Cabanas. Like, he did an interview with Jim Ross, and then instead of actually just agreeing with the fucking guest, he picked up on Jim Ross and pretty much called him out for a lot of the same old-timer shit that he always says. Like, he's always complaining about Ring of Honor and Dragon Gate and all these guys not slowing down and selling, yet complains that no one's doing anything different from the WWE. So Colt called him out on it and said, well, apparently there's an audience to that, so what do you have to say about that? So he's got an interesting take on interviews, and he's probably one of my favorite interviewers.
Another podcast that I just recently started listening to, it's called The Adventures of Danny and Mike. It's hosted by the two kids who used to play Pete and Pete on The Adventures of Pete and Pete on Nickelodeon.
You actually did check that out?
Yeah.
We were just bullshitting about that?
Yeah, no, it's actually kind of cool.
Didn't you find
I thought you were joking when you were saying that you wanted to check it out.
No, man.
Did you find a bunch of podcasts about potatoes?
Oh yeah, I did a search of podcasts. I didn't actually listen to any of those, but yeah, the Adventures of Danny and Mike. That one's kind of a fun one to listen to, just because it's kids who played Pete and Pete. It's not like I think they do one podcast a month, so it's an easy one to throw into your rotation.
And if you like potatoes, there's an audience there. So then there's a podcast out there.
See, I'd want to do a podcast of the dude that used to host Nick Arcade, who would just sing everything.
Well, that's what Talk is Jericho's for. He sings everything.
Now we're gonna do a podcast episode.
Oh,
do that kind of shit.
The Silent Wind of Doom is asking if Artie was involved. I haven't heard him on a show yet. I haven't heard Ellen on there either, but I hope someday they will bring them on, because that would be awesome. So we had another question in the chat. Let me pull that up. Creep Us Under Radar. Yeah, Creep Us Under Radar asked us, how would you guys feel if you found yourselves involved in a similar situation to the Fappening? So Tony, how would you feel?
If I had pictures of mine leaked?
Yep.
All right. Well,
I mean, you already posted them on your modeling profile site, so it's not really that big of a deal.
Oh, you haven't seen some of the other pictures. I am very, very stingy with the pictures that I take and send out. Mm-hmm. I'm not the same with the ones that I keep that were sent to me. But yeah, if somebody went through the effort and they hacked into my account and they posted those pictures out there, it would bother me more that they got into the account rather than that it was posted. Because then I would feel like that was actually a breach of privacy, and what if they got into my bank account and everything like that? You know, if I've got a picture of my dick out there on the internet or something like that, there probably even is one, for all I know. But who cares? I got nothing to hide. But
hashtag Tony's dick.
But if I thought that they could compromise my passwords to all of my other accounts and stuff like that, then I'd be worried about it. But hey, if I accidentally sent out a tweet and it was supposed to be for somebody else and it was a dick pic or something like that, it happens. Who gives a shit?
All right, guys, if you got any other questions, feel free to throw them in the chat room there. We'll pull them up, but we'll continue answering this one. Wago, what about you? How would you feel?
Well, first off, I've never fucking taken a dick pic with my cell phone, so I don't know how the fuck someone, ends up being surprised that their cell phone shit gets spread around. Because even if you don't get hacked, you send a fucking nude to anyone, your boyfriend or your girlfriend, it gets passed around anyway, so... if it did happen to me, I'd feel like a fucking idiot for putting it on my cell phone in the first place. And, yeah, it'd be sucky, and be like, oh shit, that got out there, but at the end of the day, it's wouldn't be that big of a deal, and I'd feel more of an idiot for letting it get out there than people actually seeing it.
Mm-hmm. I would feel worse for the people seeing it than I would for myself. If a naked picture of me got out there, I feel terrible for all eyes that would have to be laid upon it. You know, luckily I'm not that...
Would you want to fuck with those people, though, and be like, no, this is photoshopped. I'm even worse looking than this.
Yeah, luckily I'm not famous enough to where people would care that they would find it, but except for maybe some of you listeners out there, if you do legitimately want naked pics, all you gotta do is ask. You know, just ask. They're accessible.
That's what Paden does, and he gets them.
I don't even have to ask, and I get them. Just say
you're gonna get a request from Melissa.
Yeah, you'll get a dick pic from Melissa.
Oh, goodness gracious. What else is going on in the world, guys? Anything exciting?
I got a dog.
You got a new dog. I got a new dog too, actually, which is funny.
Really?
Yeah.
Good.
Tony, did you get a new dog?
I wish. I fucking hate my dog.
What kind of dog did you get, Wago?
It's a boxer mixed with a whole bunch of other stuff. It's a rescue.
That's the same thing I got. I'm not even kidding. That's legitimately what I got. It's a boxer mix.
Was yours abused as well?
I don't think so. No.
What, you haven't checked for beak marks yet?
Well, I don't know all the information about it. It's my sister's dog, so I don't. She works at an animal shelter, so maybe she personally adopted it because she knew it had a history. But as far as I know, it's very well behaved. It's never had any problems.
But as as far as our dog goes, we got it from Mutts of Motown. They're an adoption center for dogs that have been mistreated and abused. And we've taken in Tommy, and she's a bit of a fixer-upper, but she's getting there.
Nice.
Tommy?
Tommy
What's your
with an
dog's
I.
name, Paden?
Phoebe. These are both human
Tommy
names. Yeah, these are totally human names given to dogs.
And my dog is not a boxer, but it's his name is Herman.
Okay, you lose on dog names there.
How's the dog getting along with the cat? Are they sharing the blinds nicely?
The dog's totally the cat's bitch.
Really?
Yeah, the cat was like, hey, hiss, get in your fucking cage, bitch. Okay. And that's pretty much what's happened. So,
You're not allowed to headbutt the mic. That's my job.
This is my mic. These are my blinds. But the cat has told us off by pissing on the sofa for bringing home a dog. So had that to clean up. That was fun.
Nice.
So to all of those who want to know how to get cat piss smell out, white vinegar.
Doesn't vinegar just smell more like piss?
No, it breaks down the piss smell, and then the vinegar smell fades away. Piss doesn't fade away. The more you know.
Indeed.
Double points if you add either some Epsom salt or baking soda. Actually, funny enough, if you add Epsom salt to vinegar, you can kill weeds. So this shit's powerful as hell. Vinegar can do like anything.
This has been Home Life Hacks with Mega Powers Radio.
So we've got from the fappening, wrestling, dogs, home and garden tips.
Last call, chat room. If you want to throw any questions out there, I think we'll stay on for a couple more minutes and we'll start wrapping things up. Shit, what do we got coming up on the schedule? We got lots of things going on across our network here. I got a new episode of a new show called Nerd Court be debuting soon. It's going to be like a debate club type atmosphere where we battle about all the craziest things that people argue about in the nerd world. We got the All Talk show, which we've mentioned a couple times in the chat room and on the show. Tony, why don't you tell us about the All Talk show?
I like the part where we all talk.
I'm not a big fan of that part. That's just gonna be like a side section of it. All Talk show is basically just the more that we've been bullshitting around and the more that you guys have been suggesting to us that we could just talk about whatever. Eventually, I got to the point where it's just like, you know what, we should just fucking do it. So, All Talk show is going to be exactly what it says. It's all talk. Anything that happens is just going to be talked about. If you bring up a suggestion of a topic, we'll just fucking talk about that. It's not going to be like the Raw Post show or Smack Talk or any of the Fanboys Anonymous ones where, you know, we go to an episode of Review Point, we're going to review a certain movie, or we're going to do 4 Real Movie Club and break down 4 different films or something. All Talk show is going to just be, let's get on the air and, yo, what's up? And just 2 hours of fucking...
It's essentially everything that's fucking cut from Smack Talk.
Yeah, basically all the stuff that you guys are not privy to, partially because it's too bad to put on the air.
Like, it's fucking terrible with some of the shit we say.
Yeah, we're pretty bad people.
I mentioned this... sorry, go on.
I was going to say, Creep Us Under Radar is asking if it's going to be always live. And I'm not sure. I think we should be doing it live at least sometimes. We might do episodes that are off.
It depends what comes out of our mouth and how offended everyone is.
Yeah, we might start live, then we might decide that we can't be on a live atmosphere because we can't trust ourselves, but we'll see.
What my intention, at least at first, was, and of course things change, you know, we have tried doing different things with different podcasts, and some things work out, some things don't. I mean, if you listen to old episodes of Smack Talk, we used to have a time limit on the hot tags and shit like that. Yeah. But the intention that I was thinking was that we would mostly do it live, and unless something crazy happens, you know, we start really offending way too many people and we need to cut it down or something. And then every once in a while, if we can't like promote it ahead of time to do live shows, then we might just kind of hop on Skype and do an extra episode, because I don't know if we're going to necessarily have like this time, this day, each week we're going to do an episode, or if we're going to just kind of do it on a whim. So.
No, what I think the best plan would be, and I guess we're just going to talk strategy on the air, why the fuck not? would be just to tell all you people
shows.
out there to search for the All Talk Show page on Facebook or Twitter, and then you'll be alerted whenever a show's coming up. Even if it's last minute, you'll know when it's going to happen, and you can tune in.
Yeah, you get a notification that says a new episode of the All Talk Show is going to be coming live in the next hour or something like that. Then you hop on and listen to us make fun of people and prove that our parents did terrible jobs.
Because this should be for a special audience. This should be something for our biggest fans to be able to go into and hear the ridiculous stuff that you don't always get to hear us say on these shows. And we've been giving you sneak previews the last, 3-4 weeks here on the post show, and we've just been trying to kill time. It gets even crazier than that. Like every week when we finish these shows, we usually stay on Skype for anywhere from another 2 hours to fucking 7 hours. Honestly,
like the Seth Rollins homeless joke, which is now the Seth Rollins cat joke, which most of our listeners are probably like, the fuck. That progressed into about 5 jokes before it became Seth Rollins that's angry and hungry and a cat that eats lines
and mad at his dad.
I'm mad at his dad, so that's the type of shit that goes on behind the scenes, and you'll get to see all that unfold.
There's all those outros that we haven't sung yet.
God.
And there's all those outros that we do sing that we should never fucking sing on the air because they're awful.
That we will never sing on the air. That's a guarantee. We're never doing those.
So we could just bleep out all the bad words, which would be 50% of it.
What do you think? Do you think we should give them a sneak peek of one of them?
No.
Not one of the bad ones. One of the other ones.
No.
Like the Los Matadores one or something?
we could do that another night. We've already given enough sneak peek just doing this talk. I want to take one final question from the chat room before we start wrapping things up. Ferris419 asks, who do you wish had been caught up in the fappening? So, Tony, who do you wish had been caught in the fappening?
I posted something on Facebook about this earlier. One person that I have a huge celebrity crush on is Anna Kendrick. She is just super fucking cute, and it's ridiculous how much I am into her. But there's a lot of people. I mean, there's so many super hot people in entertainment. What's the one woman's name from the X Factor?
I don't know.
I don't know. It starts with a C. She's incredibly hot. Like the C, maybe Kate Beckinsale. Maybe somebody was bringing up Olivia Munn before. I think Allison Hayslip would be a good one. There's lots. I mean, I could go on and on and on.
Wago, how about you? Who would you like to have seen caught in the fappening?
Hayley Williams and the girl who, I can't fucking remember her name, but the lead actor in The Guild.
Oh, Felicia Day.
So, yeah, her.
Yeah.
Her and Hayley Williams.
That's not bad. Those are good choices. Easy for me. Emma Watson. Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's a good choice.
Emma fucking Watson. If I had saw a headline that Emma Watson had been caught in this, there wouldn't have been a post show tonight because there would have been a serious fappening.
Well, I got
along with all the
Watson. I got another Emma for you. Emma Stone.
There is one picture of Emma Watson that may or may not be real, along with all these images. I'll link you later.
Ooh, exciting times lay ahead. All right, guys.
Not that I've been looking or anything.
Let's wrap things up here with our plugs. Wago, tell the world what they should be tuning into.
Well, now that I'm back in America, I'm going to be jumping on udmma.com and giving you guys a whole bunch of updates on the MMA world. You can check me out at udmma.com, facebook.com/udmma, and twitter.com/udmma. Also, check me out on Twitter at SteveWago. In addition to that, check out Addicted to Anime here on megapowsradio.com. For all updates and information, go to facebook.com/addictedanimefans. And until next time, ciao, bitches.
Tony, tell the world what's good in the world of mango.
First off, I would like to plug most of the people that were released in the fappening. SmartOutMoment.com, of course, guys. You can find all the YouTube stuff on youtube.com/SmartOutMoment. We're also on iTunes and Stitcher. Another little thing about YouTube, Fanboys Anonymous has their YouTube channel back. Woo! from their old YouTube channel, because our Fanboys and On one is still down for some fucking reason. But we are, all of our old podcasts are completely up and running on the YouTube channel for that, youtube.com/fanboysanonymous. And you could also find those podcasts on iTunes and Stitcher. So stay tuned for everything on those two websites and all of our surrounding affiliates and partners and everything else in our big network.
All right, folks, if you tuned in tonight and had a good time, which we certainly hope you did, please join us every single Monday night here on MegaPowersRadio.com for the Raw post-show, the most interactive post-Raw experience available. We love having y'all in the chat room, on the phone lines, and just listening, whatever it is you feel like doing. However, if you cannot join us on Monday nights, I understand we all got lives. We make the show easily accessible in archive form. All you got to do is check out smarkoutmoment.com. You'll see the latest episode right there on the front page for you to play in a YouTube video. However, if you want to subscribe to us, we're on YouTube, we're on iTunes, we're on Stitcher, we're pretty much everywhere that podcasts are popularly found. So check out Raw Post Show on any of those avenues. You'll find us easy to get to. Also follow us on Facebook and Twitter for all the latest news and what's going on with this show and anything else going on in Mega Powers Radio. And as always, check out everything involved with Mega Powers Radio, megapowersradio.com, on Twitter, on Facebook, all those places. Always exciting news. Everyone, thanks for listening. Thanks to all the callers. Thanks to the chat room. Thanks for Tony Mango, for Stephen Wago, and for myself. We'll see you next time on the Raw Post Show.